Hello and welcome to my ever messy art area. So today we are going to actually be looking at a brand of watercolors called Taotree. Taotree. I got this set of 168 colors on Amazon on sale for $19. So I was like, $19? I've been really getting into watercolor lately, so I decided I wanted to try it. So I am gonna go through, and it did come with a bunch of brushes as well as these nice like charting things that I just simply taped into my swatch book. And then I taped it the way they're gonna look upside down when I open the book, but it's because I really wanted it to look exactly like how it looks in the tray. That way I can just open it up and both pages will be right next to each other. So for $19, I just thought that it was worth trying it out. I did originally get the idea to try out new watercolors from Ann Lahr's channel. She actually has like a set of 100. Hers are not Taotree though. Hers are, I think, called like Blicken or something like that. And I was originally going to get those, but for less paints, they weren't on sale, and they were like 30 some odd dollars. So
Mommy,
I just...
look!
Oh, I see that. That's silly, buddy.
I unlocked it in the most.
Very nice. My son Ronan will also be playing Fortnite while I'm doing this, so I could be talking to him. So this is just going to be a swatching video, but as I was saying, Ann Lahr had a different set that I was originally going to buy, but these were on sale and for a cheaper price, and it seemed like they had pretty good ratings online, so I did just want to try it out. I am going to go ahead and grab a watercolor brush, and today I'm going to be doing this with a regular watercolor brush because I want to practice what it's like to feel the water in the brushes. So I am going to, I need to get some more watercolors, but right now I'm using an Ohuhu and it's an 8. I did talk to Janet Young and she suggested that I start out with a 6, but I don't have any 6s right now, so I'll have to buy some new paintbrushes. So I am going to be using this one, and like I said, I'm also going to be practicing grabbing paint with a real paintbrush instead of using this. I love these. I think these are excellent, but I think I need more practice with real brushes. So we're going to try that out. So I'm going to go ahead and dip in my water, and my first color that I'm going to do is actually on... Oh no, did I put these in backwards? I didn't think I did. No, I put them in backwards. Okay, that's all right. We're going to quickly fix this real fast. So, and of course I taped them down very well. So let me pull up this tape real quick. I'm gonna switch these real fast because I definitely put them on the wrong sides. And I will say, originally I was gonna write down all these colors, but I kept messing up. So then I was finally like, you know what, we're just gonna use the sheet that they gave me, and I'm gonna have to be okay with that. So just give me 1 second. Just flip these over because it does come with pearlescents, and the pearlescents are all on the bottom, so it would not make sense for those to be there. So let's go ahead and just relay these down. There we go. It'll be like it never even happened, right? I'm sure you guys make that kind of mistake too. And I also, while I'm doing this, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Devin Rex for art. She had messaged me about ways that I can try to tag artists whenever I mention them in my streams, so I really appreciate that, and she's really given some really good advice since I started doing more videos. So I just wanted to say thank you, and you're a very sweet person and I appreciate you. Alright guys, so let me go ahead and get ready here. And like I said, this will just be swatching. So what swatching is if you just take your colors and, for example, on all of the pages in this particular journal, everything is swatch related. So when I open it up, the idea is it will show me all the different colors. So like I have metallic pins in here, I have markers in here. These are my Paul Rubens, and then I've got some markers where I was testing writing with them. I also tested some of these different texture mediums. So I have a whole journal basically dedicated just to swatching, because I think that's important, and that way I'll have like a library of things that I've swatched. So that way whenever I'm painting or doing a project, I can just quickly go in there and, you know, swatch what I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the white. The white, we're probably not gonna see anything. So I'm just gonna kind of pick some up. And like I said, not expecting to see anything there, which is true, nothing happened. Okay, so the next color we've got is lemon yellow. So I'm gonna pick some of that up, and I've got a little tray up here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to swirl some of it on this tray, because I would like to see a dark pigment, but I would also like to add water to it and maybe try to get a light pigment as well, just to see what these look like with water. So then what I'm gonna try to do is on this side over here, do a lighter version of it and just see if we can tell a difference here. Or maybe I can even, here, let me dry that up, and maybe what I can do is do a dark pigment of it and then just kind of slide it a little bit in the water. So like, kind of go like this.
Hey, Mommy.
See what that looks like. Yeah, babe?
Look what happened.
Yeah?
It's not working.
Well, you probably got to do some more work on there, buddy.
What?
I'm smearing yellow all over the place. There we go. All right. Like I said, first time with a real watercolor brush, so I'm just kind of playing around a bit. Okay, so the next color is just plain yellow, so let's see what that looks like. Okay. Then we've got bright yellow. Let me see where we are with the camera to see if maybe I can zoom in a little bit to this. There we go. So that's bright yellow. Next is cadmium yellow. We've got Ronan. So next we've got Canary, which oddly enough looks more like an orange to me than a yellow, so I'm curious about this one. So it is kind of yellowy, it's just like got a hint of orange in there in my opinion. Then we've got what it says is skin tone that looks very orange to me. Ah, okay. That's kind of interesting. Like the way the palette looks is much different than what it looks like whenever you paint with it. Okay. So that's skin tone. Next we've got mango. got yellow orange. Regular orange. I will say the pigment on this, I'm not really rubbing on it very much, and it's giving me a lot. So for how little these are, they're pretty cool so far. Like, I'm pretty happy with this at the moment. All right, we've got coral next. Kind of show you what I'm doing, I'm just gonna bring this last one over, this tangerine over, and I'm literally just swishing it twice, like a couple of times, just like that, making sure I'm picking up the pigment and then just placing it down. It seems like it's doing pretty good. Okay, so that was the first row. Now we're on our second, and we've got vermilion, which looks like a type of red. That's just kind of the color. Oh, maybe that's just the color. Okay. We've got deep orange red. Next is carrot. Tell that's a very carroty orange. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I'd either think of that as carrot or construction worker orange. Next we've got punch. Yellow. Which is not very orange at all. Then we've got flame red. Picking up a little bit extra just to see. I guess that is the actual pigment to it. Okay, so I'm really glad I'm swatching these because that is not what I would think of as flame red. We've got traffic red, so maybe like a stop sign possibly. Yeah, okay, see that? I understand. Next is just plain red. Some of these look very similar to me. Then we've got scarlet. So that one's kind of like a blood red. Carmine red. Ooh, that one didn't pick up very much pigment. Let's try again. So on some of these you do have to swish it around a little bit more, it feels like. Here we go. Next is a purple red. Okay, so to me that's a lipstick type red. Okay. And then we've got fuchsia, which to me, just looking at it, looks kind of like a magenta in a weird way, but let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's more pink than what it looks like. Okay. So we've got our second row down. So I would say on these reds, I had to pick up a little bit more pigment. A couple switches didn't quite do it. But otherwise, I mean, the colors seem to be pretty good. So it's definitely one that we need to play with. So let's go ahead and do row 3 and see what we get. So this next color is like crocus, which crocus is a flower. We get crocuses here.
Crocus? What's crocus anyway?
Crocus are those flowers that we get in the spring, Ronan, the ones that come in the grass. So you remember how you were picking flowers for me and there are those little purple and yellow flowers? Yeah, that's a crocus. Okay, so the next one is azure. Then we've got ultraviolet. We've got skin pink, so like maybe like for some cheeks or something. Yeah, I could kind of see that. It's like a salmon. The next one is camellia. So let's switch that a bit. Macaron pink, so like the cookies.
What's macaroni?
Macaron pink, so that's kind of like there's these little cookie cakes and they're called macarons, so I think this is supposed to be that color pink. It's like a baby pink.
What is it called? Baby pink?
Well, it's called macaron. It's like a French word, I think.
I don't like that.
Why? What's wrong with that?
No, I don't like that food.
Oh, you don't even know what that food is. You would love it. It's like a cookie. One's macaron blue. So it's just kind of like a light baby blue in a way. We've got macaron green. Very minty looking.
What's that?
Macaron purple. Oh wow, look at that fuchsia. Now I feel like that fuchsia almost changed colors. Maybe I'm like mistaken, but I don't remember it being that pink. That's wild. Okay, so now we've got magenta. Yeah, that's pretty magenta. Usually I think of a little bit darker of a color, but yeah. Bubblegum, which is weird because in the palette, bubblegum looks like a purple and I think of pink when I think of bubblegum. Oh! Check this out. So I touched that purple and it did turn into a bubblegummy color. Interesting. Interesting. So I think that's turning into a pink. Interesting. Okay. And then we've got traffic purple. It's interesting how like when the water reacts, how these are changing colors. Okay, so that's kind of like an Easter eggy purple. Okay. So next we've got navy.
Did you find a blue brains?
Oh, that's a pretty blue. lilac blue. Oh, that's a really pretty purple. Wisteria. Royal blue.
Oh, stuck a yellow. Stop, no, probably.
And we've got one called Admiral. Cerulean blue.
What will call me Bobby. Oh.
Light blue purple. So it's kind of indigo-y. Titanium blue. Cyan blue. Okay, so oddly enough, this is not the color I think of when I think of cyan. When I think of cyan, I actually think of this macaron blue, so I'm glad that we did that one. Indigo. Violet, you're turning violet.
What?
So got some violet here. Aegean. And then we've got ocean blue. Go away, Mr. Bubble. Turquoise. It's interesting that they're putting turquoise and teal next to each other. I have a hard time telling the difference between turquoises and blues. Or I mean turquoises and teals. To me, they're the same color. So I'm curious to see what the difference is here. So it looks like teal is just a little bit lighter. And that's what they're going with. Okay, so after teal, it looks like we're going into the greens. And then we've got emerald. Ooh, that's very pretty. I like that. I love emerald green. That's one of my favorite colors. And then we've got what it considers to be a light green. This one. Hey Ronan, sweetheart, I'm happy that you're having fun, but can you calm down just a little tiny bit?
No thanks.
Oh, okay. Well, at least you're polite about it.
Fine, I'll be it.
Thank you. apple green. This one is light apple green. Bottle green, so this is like 7-Up green. Chartreuse? It's not chartreuse because I don't think it's spelled that way. Chartreuse. If you know how to pronounce that, let me know because I do not know how to pronounce that word. Charlreuse. Chartreuse. It's a pretty green though. We've got yellow green. And then we've got cardamom green. Next is pecan or pecan, however you want to say it. Then we've got raisin. Okra red. It's kind of a maroon. Cedar. We've got gray. Okra. I'm beginning to really like okras. I never thought I would like okra yellow, but I do definitely like what it looks like, especially with reds and teals. It's very pretty. Okay, we've got graphite. Graphite is Payne's blue in a way, because there's not a Payne's blue in here, and I was wondering where it would come up. So it's graphite on here. That's another color that I'm starting to really love. Amber. Yellow olive. Oh, that is very much like a green olive. Khaki. It's more green than it. When I think khaki, I think more of a tan color. This one is just simply called wood. Okay, so it's like a tree bark brown. And medium olive. Kind of like a swampy green. Okay, and then we're on our last row of the regular colors. So we've got olive gray. Coffee. brown. That's a big yawn, buddy. Oh no, I hear Mason whale calling back. From out across the house, I just hear, oh. Okay, Mr. Whale. Okay, I'm still recording. Let's not wail. Ronan, sweet pea. Okay, so we've got wine. Dark gray. We've got black. Fluorescent blue. It's not very fluorescent-y. Maybe I didn't get enough water. Let's see. I'm gonna very calmly try to wipe that one up and retry because something didn't go right there. It was not fluorescent. So let's try that again. Make sure I mix it really good. Oh, okay. Next is fluorescent green. Ronan. Yeah, it's pretty fluorescent, all right. Fluorescent yellow. These are like highlighter colors. Fluorescent pink. Fluorescent orange. And lastly, fluorescent red, which looks more pink than anything. A little bit more pigment in there and see if it fixes anything. Not really. Okay, so these are the first side. And those are all of our colors that we got out of that first side there. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and open our book and go to our next side. And reposition us right about there. Hey kids, I'm recording. The big kid has joined the party now too. Okay, so I think that's about centered. And now I will do the other side.
What I have.
You have corn dogs?
No.
Now what I'm thinking is a lot of these colors are saying that
Okay, Daddy. These are
Oh.
nice.
a lot of these colors say pearlescent. So what I might do is I was thinking about on the ones that say pearlescent that maybe I should take a black
Daddy.
Is that a good?
and maybe do half of the box black so we can see the pearls, because something fun about pearlescents is they do show up differently on blacks. So part of me really wants to do that. So what I might do is I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera for a moment and do that, and when I come back, hopefully we'll have this split to where half of it is going to be the regular paper and half of it is going to be black acrylic. That way we can test it on both sides. Okay, so now I'm back and I have the acrylic black on half of each of the ones that are pearlescent. So that way we can test them on black. Because if you remember whenever we tested the Paul Rubens, those pearlescent ones actually showed up different colors on black. So I'm gonna go ahead and see, and on these I'm gonna rub it just a little bit more because it seems like the pearlescent ones are a little bit harder. So let's see what we end up getting out of this. Ah, see? And that black might bleed a little bit, it looks like. So what I might have to do is do 1 and then 2, like that. But that is definitely pearly, and you can see it on the black, which is cool. So we'll just go ahead and go one at a time. So that one was white. This is gonna be beige, so I'm gonna do like a spot of it here and a spot of it here. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna go from now on. That way we won't have that problem. Okay. Then next is pearlescent yellow. So I'm gonna do, this is light yellow it says. So I'm gonna do some of it there. And some of it there. That one, maybe I need to pick up a little bit more for the black part. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Okay. So I'll need to do 2 dips. So unlike the Paul Rubens, which were very easily spreadable, you have to mix this one a little bit more with the water. So it's good to know for these pearly ones. So this one's regular yellow. I'm gonna go back with my water and mix it some more. There we go. And we've got metallic gold. So they show up really good on the black. I'm glad I did that, because we wouldn't have been able to see like the true potential of these colors, I don't think. Now this dark blonde one is not pearlescent, but it looks kind of pearly. So on ones they even looked slightly, because it was weird. It was kind of split up like this in there, and then these over here are not. So that's kind of how I'm going with it. So this one's dark blonde. Pearlescent light orange.
I used to be playing your game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Aren't you supposed to come to my house?
I was. Here I come. Hold on, the daddy start this little.
Oh, that's pretty. That's kind of like an orange dreamsicle color. Next is just regular pearlescent orange.
You're supposed to go to my house.
I'm coming.
I know I was the rooftop.
Okay. And then we have the non-pearlescents over here. So we've got light orange.
Is there a visitor?
Hello.
Hello.
Pumpkin.
Follow me. Dude, look out here. Ow.
I can't go through that door.
Deep orange.
Then you can jump on this.
It won't let me out. You gotta let me through the front door.
And candy. Okay. So then next we're gonna go back to pearlescent, and we're gonna get pearlescent light pink to try.
That's over there.
That's really pretty on the black.
Daddy, I've been trying to get these things all day long.
We've got pearlescent rose red.
But they're not listening.
How dare.
Ow! Bro!
Hey, Ronan. Calm down, please.
Well,
You know what? We're gonna stop playing this. Come on, let's go upstairs.
for why?
Because Daddy said so. Come on.
And then we've got
Let's go.
pearlescent skin pink.
My dog.
3.
Care.
We need a little bit more pigment for that. Let's get a little bit more pigment from that. So I'm feeling like I said, it's kind of hard to pick up the pigment on some of these, which is kind of annoying. And it's just the pearlescent ones. The regular ones I didn't have a problem with. Might try on that pearlescent rose red to get a little bit more too.
Whew.
Like that.
Thank you for looking after my these.
Oh, you're welcome. Bring those upstairs, please. No, she didn't. Okay, and then we've got pearlescent rouge. Like that. Pearlescent pink. Pearlescent deep pink. Pearlescent sienna. Pearlescent tangerine. Oh, that's a pretty color. Ooh, I love that. You can actually see there's like gold glitter in that. That's really cool. And then we've got hot pink. Once again, the regular pigments are very easy to mix with the water. It's just those ones with the glitter in it that it just seems like it's a little bit harder. You just have to mix it some more. Not the biggest problem ever, because once you do get it mixed, it's fine. But just something to say in case you want to buy these, just expect that. They're not as easy and buttery as the Paul Rubens are whenever you put water in them. But they have a pretty good pigment. I'm not mad at it for sure. Crimson. And then we've got wine. Okay. So now we're ready for row 3, and we've got a plum color, so pearlescent plum. And then we've got pearlescent fuchsia. We've got a pearlescent coral pink. That one's kind of a lipsticky color to me too. Like, it just reminds me of a lipstick I've seen on older, more mature ladies. Pearlescent lavender. Ooh, that's really pretty on that black. It'll be interesting to see what these all look like when they're dry too. Okay, and then we've got pearlescent purple. Pearlescent violet. Pearlescent dark purple. And pearlescent lilac. That's a very pretty color. See, to me that's more of a lavender color than that other one was. It's kind of funny, my water for mixing right now is actually very, like, I don't know if you can see it, but it has glitter swishing around in it. It's kind of funny. All right, so then we've got purple. Dark purple. Ecru, which I've never really heard of that color before. Oh, see, this is the color that I would think of as khaki. Medallion. And then we're back to our pearlescence again. So we've got pearlescent blue. Oops, I just got some water on that. There we go. So this is a pearlescent cobalt blue, it said. Oh wow, yeah, that's really dark on the black. Okay. We've got just a regular pearlescent blue. Pearlescent sky blue, which this one, interestingly enough, looking at the pigment of the color block, it looks like it almost has green glitter in it. Let's see if we can see that on the black. Yeah, you can see the kind of goldish green in there. I find sometimes with these glitter colors on the black, you can tell what colors that they mix to get that color, which is pretty fun. Because, you know, I'm sure they put like mica powder or something in it. Next is pearlescent Crillian blue. And then we've got pearlescent light blue. And what I'll do is after we do all of these, I'll wait for it to dry, for the whole pages to dry, and then I'll show you what the dry versions look like, because I'm sure it's going to look a lot different wet versus dry, because I can already see some differences in the ones that have dried above that you haven't seen yet. So I will definitely do that as well. Next we've got pearlescent cyan blue, or cyan, however you want to pronounce it. I'll be honest, I didn't know what cyan blue was until I was playing the phone game Among Us, and on Among Us one of the characters is cyan blue, and that's why I kind of think of like that minty-ish green as more of like a minty teal green to be a CN color, because on there that's what color that is. Okay, so let's see here. We've got some sky blue. And then we have pearlescent light blue, which the light blue honestly looks really similar to the white, but with blue glitter in it. So I'm curious to see what that looks like on the white. It's very, very light. Oh my, but it's very dark almost on that black. That's interesting. Okay, and then we have blue. We've got a bluish green. Bluish violet. And a light blue. Okay, and then now we're gonna go to our pearlescent greens. So I've got, the first green is called Malachite Pearlescent Green. Looks like it's gonna be a very pretty color. Ooh, I love that color, that's very pretty. Yeah, oh, that's a beautiful color. Pearlescent bluish green. Oh, that turns into like a really pretty like jasmine-y blue. By jasmine, I mean like from Aladdin. We got pearlescent grass green. Pearlescent bottle green. Pearlescent green. Ooh, that turns to like an olive gold color on the black. That's interesting. Pearlescent apple green. To me, the apple green is more of a true green, interestingly, on here. Next, we've got pearlescent yellow green. Pearlescent lime green. Then we've got regular lime green. Got regular green. Then we've got malachite green. Ooh, that's a really pretty green, I can already tell. Yeah, it's really pretty. Rust is the next color. Next we've got, oh no, I accidentally put some of the rust in the wrong thing. Whoops, oh no, oh no, oh no. Hold on. Need a paper towel. Hate it when I do that. I forgot to rinse. Alright. So this next one is called Pearlescent Ice Green. Then we've got Pearlescent Opal Green. Pearlescent Deep Green. We're almost there, guys. Pearlescent Olive Green. Pearlescent Greenish Gold. It's very pretty. Pearlescent Gray Green. Pearlescent Dark Gray. Pearlescent Regular Gray. Cobalt Blue. Maybe it had a bit much water in it. I might put a little bit more of that pigment in there. Doot. Dark Blue. For some reason, there's two A's here. D-A-A-R-K. So they want us to know it's very dark, I guess. Another azure, another type of azure blue. Ultramarine. We are on our last line here. So we've got Pearlescent Umbers next. We've got Pearlescent Brown. Pearlescent Ochre. Pearlescent Brick. And then we've got Pearlescent Rouge. Pearlescent Wine. Pearlescent Scarlet. You can really see that on the black. our last pearlescent color is actually pearlescent black. And then we've got navy blue, dark violet, Prussian blue, and then last but not least, we've got caramel. Okay, and I'm gonna let everything sit for about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so, half an hour. And then when I come back, we'll take a look at how these dried, and we'll see the differences in the top section and the bottom section of what they actually look like when they're dry. All right, so I did actually end up letting these sit overnight, and I will say colors that I thought were not gonna turn out actually turned out pretty good. I can even see the white on here, which is kind of wild. So these just take a while to dry. Actually, after about an hour or two, I feel like they were completely dry because I let them just kind of breathe. Now, one thing I will say is, like I said, I'm really new to watercolor, so I don't know if this is normal or not, but it seems like there's a lot of interesting pigmentation. Like if you take a look at this malachite green, it has almost a gritty texture to it, and you can actually feel it. So if that's not for you, then maybe this set's not gonna be great for you, because it did do it to blues and greens, I noticed. So here's some greens there. Here's a teal blue where it happened, and you can actually physically feel it a little bit, like a grittiness. But otherwise, I do like how the colors turned out. So I will be using this set, and I'll probably be using it in my next scavenger hunt page that I was thinking about doing, which is going to probably be the monochromatic one, because I'm not really sure what else I would do it with besides watercolor, because I can get all those different tones in it. So I'll be probably thinking over the next day or so, what color do I want to use for it. Meanwhile, probably another thing I'll be working on too is I did sign up for another ATC swap. So this one's going to be for bacteria and what was it? Bacterias and viruses, that's what it was. So I've already started some cards. Like here's some backgrounds I used using mold. These are actually mold, but nobody will know because they kind of got that bacteria look. But you know, I'm gonna be working on those too. So I'll probably end up recording whatever I end up doing with the monochromatic part. And I'll let you know how that goes. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!